All right, what's going on, my fam sizzles? It's so good that you are joining me. I really appreciate it. I want to get into last night's wedding. It was absolutely amazing. What made it amazing was, well, one, it was at the Cathedral in Ballard, which is a great venue for a wedding. It's two levels. Up top, you can get married. There's a bar up there. Downstairs, there's a bar. Um, it's just a really fun spot. And what's nice about it too is we went until 11:30 versus 10 p.m., which if you're more in a residential zone or you're in a place where they require you to have the sound off by 10 p.m., then it's cool. I mean, if that's your vibe. But definitely last night the couple's vibe was not 10 p.m. So it was quite fun. We went till 11:30, and I just also want to say, like, I'm not. I mean, I can be a great DJ, but without the help of others, the staff at Cathedral, really great. Just everybody there, super helpful. And as a DJ, it may look like you're doing it by yourself, but I'm not. I have an assistant with me. She's amazing. She helps me load all the gear upstairs. She helps me move around the gear from here to there when we got to set up and everything. So you can't do it by yourself. And that's something that I think I really want to talk about today, is just that you need the help of others in order to be great. And without them, it's cool to think you can do it all by yourself, but you can't. So without great staff at a wedding, like great bartenders, great catering, great photographers. Oh, by the way, shout out to the photographer. Great photographer. Highly recommend them. If you are looking for a photographer, just let me know. I can link them in the comments as well. Another thing that made this wedding really interesting was that they included everybody in it, and they said any request goes. And I was like, I remember I talked to them in our Zoom meeting. I always do a Zoom meeting before I go out and perform at their wedding. I have them fill out the wedding outline, and then we'll do a Zoom meeting. We'll talk about it. Usually it's about 15, 20, 25 minutes. I'll just have a bunch of questions. We'll go over the outline. We'll go over the schedule. I want to make sure I understand the vision completely, because look, everybody's different, man. And that's why I do customized weddings, because I understand that everyone is different. And I don't want to put people in a box. I don't want people to think, oh, you're a DJ, so you just look at us like we're cookie cutter. And I don't ever want to look at anybody as their cookie cutter. I don't want people looking at me like I'm cookie cutter, because we're all different. We have our own unique tastes. We have our own style. We love certain songs. We don't like certain songs. All those things. So I think what made everything really special about last night was the fact that they were open to all guest requests. And I think it really worked for their crowd and their friends and their family, because it was very like, let's include everybody in this. We want to go from right to left to straight to back to we just move it all around. We get bored pretty easily. So it just made it a lot more fun to include everybody last night. Now, I also understand, like, there are certain weddings, and you may be a couple that is like, hey, we want you to control the playlist. We don't want our friends requesting songs. There's just certain songs we don't like, and you please not play them. So I also understand that. But at the same time, it is nice to kind of switch it up and play a different wedding. So I really valued that, as well as just everybody there, man. All the friends and family, just super nice, just really fun, just really kind too. Like, sometimes you'll play a wedding, and sometimes people, maybe they'll have a few too many drinks and they don't know it, but they'll just come up and kind of be like, play the song. Whereas like last night, everybody was just like, hey, man, we were checking you out online, and like, you're super cool. Is there a way you could play this song for us? And at that point, it's like, absolutely. This set list was really cool, because the bride gave me a 300 song playlist. And keep in mind, this is a 3.5 hour set. Normally I'll play maybe 2 hour sets for weddings. So I was very thankful that they gave me such a large set list, because when you get into a 3.5 hour set list, like, that's a long movie in general, but like, that's a long like DJ set. So you need to understand like how to go from genre to genre, how to like have a peak and then kind of bring it back down and then kind of mellow out a little bit. Because if you're trying to go like 100 for 3.5 hours and you're trying to play just like boom, boom, boom music, it's just going to get old really fast. So what's nice is with the playlist that they gave me, it had everything from like rock, emo, a lot of 2000s dance pop, which is really cool. There was just so many different artists, so many different styles. They really liked a lot of music from the 2000s and up for like the party section. Before that, I always recommend couples too, like, you know, if you have a varied age group within your wedding, like guests, like it's okay to have like just different music within different eras. Like even if you're not a big fan of it, it's kind of nice to like give that to your friends and family. Like just kind of give them a little bit of like 70s, 80s, maybe some 60s Motown, 90s, like just kind of, you know, stuff from the 1900s, you know, throw some of that music in there up front. And then when you guys start to like get partying and stuff, like you don't have to play a lot of that music if it's not your cup of tea, which I totally understand that. Like certain genres, certain eras may not be a cup of tea for everyone. So that is understandable. They gave me a list of their favorite artists. And a lot of times when I get a list of the favorite artists, I will go and research those artists if I'm not familiar with them. And it was really fun this time. I had a lot of fun researching different artists. And then also I'll look at different DJs mixing those artists' music, as well as I will go to DJ record pools and I will be like, hey, let me find some remixes. Let me find some like really interesting like ideas for like wordplay. Like how do we like transition from one song to the next song? Or how do we get out of this genre? How do we get out from dance pop and then go into like rock? You know, so like how do we do these things? This playlist I set up, it was a huge playlist. So what I'll do is I will list the dance party and then I'll have my open set. And then from the open set, you'll have like must plays. And then I thought what would be interesting for last night was to do the 3 favorite artists that they loved. Like they love Charlie XCX, they love Bad Bunny, and My Chemical Romance. So quite a different like genre blend all over the place, which was really cool. I love that. And so what I did is I created folders for each of those artists. And I said, you know, we can do like a cool 10-minute set, maybe 15-minute set from each of those artists where you just play all their songs and we kind of mix them up and we have like a fun moment. So you can kind of sprinkle that out within the 3-hour set or 3.5-hour set, excuse me. So we did that, as well as with all that song, like with a Spotify playlist of over 300 songs, like it's going to be hard to go in there. And so you have to think about it from like a standpoint of like, okay, if dance pop is getting old, like people aren't really feeling it at this moment, we got to switch it up. We need to go over to emo. So let's go over to emo, but within emo, you want to have like your high energy emo, and then you want to have kind of your middle tempo emo, and then you want to have your slow tempo emo. So having those 3 like moods of emo, so that way like if it's getting too much energy and it's like people are just kind of worn out, bring it down. Do we need to bring it down to mid-level energy, or do we need to like slow it down and do some singable stuff? So those are like those things that you have to really think about, you know, before you go into DJing a wedding. So what I did is I set all those folders: dance pop, high energy, middle energy, low energy. I set up the I think I said must play folder. So they had a bunch of must play songs. You put those in there. And so if any time like you're playing some of their music and people aren't really feeling it as much, then what you can do is you can throw on a must play song. And then with doing that, you bring back the energy of like the music they really want it. Like, yeah, they give me all those songs, but these are the must play songs. So you have that folder ready for you. Also, I have a left turn folder because they gave me some random stuff like What Does the Fox Say? Totally left turn music. So if it starts to get like a little stagnant, or people are just like, oh, this is cool, you know, throw on a left turn song and just people will be like, whoa, what is this? And then you get people's attention again. So it's important to have like that kind of stuff set up for a folder. So I'll do something like What Does the Fox Say? Maybe like really like a beautiful piano moment. And then also I'll set up a folder of sing-along songs, because it's cool to have a bunch of music like, but at a certain point you got to be like, and then you play a song that everybody knows the words to, play a little bit of that, get them back and involved. as well as like a closing set. Usually want to close it with some really nice high energy. Get everybody pumped up. This is the final 30 minutes. We got to just go full bore. That whole thing. So, in setting them all up, I think it was a highly successful evening. Also, they gave me like the final farewell song. They said, hey, play this song and let everybody know it is time to go. Get your Ubers, get your coats. It is time to get out of here. We need you out. So, I love it when couples are very like specific with certain songs and certain playlists. And then I also do love it too when it's like, hey, you can play whatever you want. But at the same time, are you sure? Because like, guess, they might have a few drinks and like that whole idea of playing whatever you want can get pretty wild. So, but if that's the vibe, then by all means go with it. So, all right. I don't want to talk too much more. Let me know, have you been to any wild weddings lately where the request for everything can go? Are you going to any weddings this year? If you are, let me know which date you're going to, because I might be DJing that wedding. So, super excited. Wedding season is about to be in full bloom. So, let me know. Yeah, let me know if you've been to any weddings lately that were just amazing. Let me know if you've been to some weddings where you're like, it was cool. I don't know. I wish this would have happened. Yeah, just let me know in the comments and we'll take it from there. All right. I will talk to you soon.